Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we're going to be looking at two Foundry Works drops that were later combined into one. This is the SOCOM Legacy Collection and the SOCOM II Collection. So just before we hop into this, I want to get a couple things straight. First, these are sold out at the time of the recording of this video. Foundry Works drops are very limited run, and it's best that you bookmark their site and follow their socials so you know when things are going to drop. I'll link all that down in the description and the pinned comment. Second, please keep in mind that all prices are in Mexican currency, not American currency. I've had people get very angry right off the bat when they see 100 or 200 or 300 on the price, thinking it's US dollars. It's not, don't worry, they're really not that expensive. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we'll start with the Legacy Collection. So this is the Demolitions armor, and this is going to apply for all of them, what I'm about to say. The black is paint, so the plastic color is not visible. It's actually gray. If you pop the head, you can look in there and see the actual plastic color. Now, that means, since there's paint, there is chipping, because I have not had a Foundry Works order yet that did not require extra top coat. It's just something about the paint they use, something about the way that they seal it. It's just not quite good enough. And since all of these pieces are soft plastic, it's really easy to gouge it. So this is a top-coated figure. It's honestly a better look top-coated, in my opinion. I put this on a Battle for the Ark Marine body. That's also top-coated. Now the blacks match a little bit better. I bought a random lot of unarmored Battle for the Ark torsos on eBay. That's why he's on this body. I think it looks pretty good. You don't get torsos and stuff to put on them, so you just kind of have to customize it yourself whenever you buy a Foundry Works armor pack. He comes with a Halo Infinite style Hydra, which is not something that Mega has made. I think this is fantastic. I love this design. It's very blocky, very different from the other Hydra. This is great. This is done in a kind of somewhat soft plastic. I don't love that. However, it does mean that when it comes to having the figures hold it, it's a little bit easier, because if it's a little too big, it just kind of squishes down. This is also painted. So far, I haven't had too much in the way of scratching, even on the handle, but it's something to be careful of. So I don't actually know what inspired fully this kit. It's very Halo 2 ODST-esque, but that is very much a Rakshasa helmet. So that's not something that Mega ever made, but it looks really good. The visor on this guy is pretty solid. I'd say there's a little bit of fuzziness at the edges, but overall is pretty good. Molding for the chest is fantastic. These massive shoulders are really cool. They limit the outward movement of the arms somewhat, but it doesn't limit the posing so much that I'm just super unhappy with it. The leg bit is also really good. It's soft plastic, and it's not connected at the back. I believe that was on purpose, and it allows for some flexing. I would have liked it to be fully completed, but it does allow for some movement there. Back of the torso does have the hole that lines up properly, so you can add backpacks. The head gets plenty of movement on this guy. And this particular one was rather stiff on the neck peg, but after a little bit of like sanding and stuff, it works out pretty well. So here is the Recon armor configuration, and this guy comes with a suppressed SMG. This is a lot finer detailed than a lot of Mega's official ones, but here is where the soft plastic really is kind of a downside, because it's very easy to squish or bend this weapon out of alignment. I don't like the use of soft plastic here. Just gonna be completely honest. I would have preferred hard plastic, because yeah, just you saw me trying to pull it off. In doing that, it bent it a little bit. This is an actual grip. That's kind of cool though. I kind of like that. I wish Mega did that themselves. It looks fantastic. I just don't love the soft plastic. The Recon himself has a unique chest that's got some pouches and a little cord on it. He's got smaller shoulders. Now these are kind of sticking on because of the top coat, but when I first got them and put them on, they tended to fall off because they're also soft plastic. The soft plastic is great for the chest and the head, but the shoulders, I think they could have been hard. The head has some special molding. It's still the same helmet, but it's got some extra attachments and whatnot. Visor on this one is not as great. There's a little bit of a spot like where it's scratched or something during application, but it's still not bad. I've definitely seen worse from Mega themselves. These shoulders are a lot more light and easy to pose with, and overall, he does look really fantastic, and I think this is the most recognizable configuration for the Rakshasa helmet, because I think this is what Spartan Din had in-game. The last of the 3 legacy armors is the Scout. So this guy comes armed with a classic DMR. It's very squat, and again, the soft plastic, it tends to make the barrel bend upward, which is kind of frustrating, and this is flexible. I just find that more frustrating than really anything else in these kits so far. The softness is just very off-putting. Makes me really not want to use these weapons as much. But yeah, this one is another one. It just gets bent out of shape really easily. Great detail, but functionality is not great. This guy has a little bit more going on because he's got some different shoulders. Very detailed shoulders, I might add. The chest has like a cloth bit over the top that honestly could do with some more paint. I've been tempted to paint these guys, maybe paint their visors like silver or like Spec Ops green, and then this guy could also use some cloth paint here. But, oh, this head is sticking a little bit. There we go. He's got the little binocular things that can actually raise and lower over his visor. They always end up in a slightly upward position, so if he wants to look straight with it, he's kind of got to look a little bit downward. But still, that's really cool. That's a lot of functionality in the helmet. It's a little on the loose side, but it does hold its position pretty well. So that's super slick. I mean, the ODST helmets come with those molded onto it, but never have they been able to lower. So that's a really cool feature. Moving on to SOCOM II. This is the Juggernaut. Now, right away, his weapon has probably caught your eye. This is a Gatling turret. It is fully hand-holdable. Barrel's a little small, but you can actually rotate it, which I was not expecting. It's painted up in this green, which is so far holding up pretty well. And I think the softness for this one doesn't mean as much because it's such a large chunk of plastic. So I'm really okay with the way they did that. The Juggernaut himself has more rounded shoulders than we've seen. The waist unit goes down farther, so that's unique. The chest has a big collar. And then he's got this mask. Now, I think there's some like Rainbow Six Siege references in SOCOM II. I don't know if this mask is one of them, but it kind of goes down over the face, and then you can lift it. Well, theoretically lift it up, and there's a visor underneath. This one, at least on mine, is freakishly, atrociously loose. So I'm going to have to tighten that up by pouring some floor polish in there, because otherwise the mask literally just does not want to stay, except for on the odd occasion like right now, where it does. Overall, it looks really cool, but again, functionality is a little bit iffy on that particular mask piece. So the last two are my favorites out of the whole SOCOM collection. This is the Spectre. Now, he comes with an MA5K Avenger, which is super, super useful. It is a little bit bendy, but the shape of it, I feel like it holds its form a little better than some of the others. And since I have one of those potentially canceled SPI Spartans, it just fits so well. Look at that. It's perfect. Now I can do a Ghosts of Onyx photo cover. And then the figure himself. So this guy has a skull face tacked on over top of his visor. I think that looks really cool. Now, what wasn't cool is how loose his head was. It was so floppy. So what I did is I just put a little tiny bit of sticky tack in there, and now it poses great. The visor, I think, could have been done a little better. It's a little rough on some of the edges, but because it's behind the skull, it's less noticeable. The chest looks great. There's a knife on there. The shoulders are much more low profile, I guess, to allow him to sneak around a bit better. Yeah, very unique, very cool. I like how different the helmet looks. He's even got a little, like, I don't know if it's a scanner or flashlight or what on top, but it looks sick. So yeah, this guy's definitely among my favorites. And the last one, and my absolute favorite, is the Breacher. So this guy doesn't come with shoulders, but he does come with two weapons. So he's got the hammer, and this is for sure a Rainbow Six thing. I've seen it on the cover. It's pretty cool looking. It's a very different type of weapon. It is bendy, which is frustrating, especially because it's a long pole. so it's easy to malform it. But other than that, it looks really good. So far, the paint's holding up. We'll see how it holds up over time. And then he's also got a variant of the Bulldog shotgun. Again, bit squishy, but less squishy than some of the others. It's got some shells on the outside. I had an official one nearby. Yeah, a lot smaller. And the breacher himself. So I chose to put the buff arms from the Psycho figure from the Borderlands on him because, you know, it didn't come with the shoulders. So I felt like this was kind of the logical choice here. And I think it looks great, especially with those tattoos. He looks like he's about to whoop some tail. The waist is a bit different. It's got like shotgun shells and stuff. There is a bit of excess plastic on it, which is a little strange to me. More shotgun shells on the chest. Around the back. Looks very similar to some of the other ones. And then the helmet has a bit of, almost looks like Hazop breather on it. And then there's like a light on the side. Visor is done pretty well. Of all of them, it's one of the better ones. I do think that as a whole, the visor prints needed some more smoothness. Like you can very much see the speckling of the paint in there. And that's a little frustrating to me. The head is on the loose side, but it's not as loose as the Spectre was. I just think the end result looks so cool. Like the buff arms, the big helmet, pretty much perfect. That's why this dude is my favorite. Well, there you have it. That is the Foundry Works SOCOM collection. The complete collection, both 1 and 2. I have to say, I may have sounded like I was nitpicking a lot, and I kind of am, because this sort of thing, I think, is the future of the Mega community. This is the sort of thing that is going to bring us onward, even if Mega doesn't keep making stuff. So I want to give as complete feedback as possible about the good and the bad for these things. I absolutely love them. I think the end result is sick. Like, especially, I think using green undersuits turned out way better than I was expecting. It just looks so cool, and I'm so happy to have these guys in my collection. I'm really looking forward to doing some photography with them, getting them out in the dirt and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, there are some things that need improvement, particularly the paint. I think that that's something they can easily improve, and I look forward to seeing what they do in the future. Again, please go follow them on their social media. It's mostly on Instagram where they'll post stuff, and there's some on Facebook, but I'll leave the Instagram link, and I'll leave the link to their site. Remember, it's not American dollars. Highly recommend you keep an eye on them because they do periodic drops, and usually once it's sold out, it's sold out. They sometimes do reruns like SOCOM 1, but again, you really don't want to miss the drops when they come out. So let me know, have you gotten any Foundry Works stuff? What do you think of these guys? I look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.